Hi guys, in this episode of Shri series, we're going to be talking about a formula used to calculate simple interest. All right. And then we'll further look at how we can use changing the subject of a formula to find principal, which is P, rate, which is R, and T, which is time. All right. So if you look at the formula here, and I've written it down here, interest is PRT, which means you multiply your principal times your rate times your time. All right. So what I'll do here is I'll just give you the abbreviations. So I stands for interest, R stands for my rate, T stands for time, and P stands for principal. All right. So in this situation, we want to find out how we can use changing the subject of the formula to get either principal or time, or in some situations to get your rate. Okay. Now, in the next couple of videos, I'm going to be showing some calculations, examples of worded problems in order for us to understand the concept of simple interest. But for the time being, you need to understand that your interest is the amount, your rate is a percentage, your time can be expressed as days, months, but for the time being, let's say it's expressed as years. We'll look at some questions where we may be asked to calculate in months or even days. And your principal is, as you know, the amount of money. All right. Now, I'm not here to talk more into what simple interest means. We want to look at how we can use changing the subject of the formula to get other important areas such as P, R, O, T. All right. So let's get working on that area. Now that we've established that interest is principal times rate times time, let's look at different situations where, say for instance, we want to make P the subject of the formula. All right, we want to make P the subject of the formula. What do we need to do? Now, in maths, we've learned a topic called changing the subject of the formula. All right, so we're going to be using changing the subject of the formula to get P, R, and T. All right, so what I'll do here is I'll rewrite this equation. So we know that I is equal to principal, rate, time. And we want to make P the subject of the formula. So what we do here is we divide by R times T here. And we also do on your left-hand side. In maths, there's a very simple concept, and I've shown this in the previous videos. Simply states this, which is whatever you do on the left-hand side, you do it on the right-hand side. So what we've done here is we've divided by RT on my right-hand side. We're doing exactly the same thing on my left-hand side. Sorry. So what we now do here is we get the R, cancels them, and I therefore becomes, P, sorry, write that again. P therefore becomes I over R times T. So if you get a question and you're told to find the principal, what's the formula? So we make P the subject of the formula, and therefore that becomes I divided by RT. All right. Now, let's now look at another situation where we want to make R the subject of the formula. All right. So let's rub this. Okay, so we know I is equal to principal times rate times time. This time we want to make R the subject of the formula. So what we do, we divide by P times T on my right-hand side, and we divide by P times T on my left-hand side. So my P's will cancel out because we want to get R. Therefore, R is equal to I over P times T. So in other words, the rate is equal to interest divided by principal times your time. All right. Now, let's look at the third one where we want to make T the subject of the formula. All right. So let's rewrite the equation for simple interest. PRT, and we want to make T the subject of the formula, what we need to do is divide by P times R on my right hand side and divide by P times R on my left hand side. The P's and R cancels out. Therefore, my time is equal to interest divided by my rate times my principal. All right. So you can see how we're using a topic of changing the subject of formula in simple interest to find either principal or rate and also time. All right. Now this will be very useful when I put next in the next series of videos questions involving principal, rate, and time. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye now.